Astralis are looking pretty sick right now. So let's get into this one. Dust2, map number 1. It is a best of 1 for the opening game of Group B, and we've got a lot of utility on NaVi. They'll go for the fast long play, bursting Flamey out, and Ghost Gaming already giving up that part of the map.
Yeah, Sabrosa wanted nothing to do with it. He retreats over towards the cross. He's going to see this decoy, and then all of a sudden, everybody's gone. There's no further aggression here from NaVi. They establish that long control and head 3 players back to the top of mid, where Steel is going to be in question, because he's not only got to keep his eyes towards lower, but now that smoke draws his attention up top.
And the smoke is at least going to allow Edward to sneak out into middle. Wardell making some noise backing off towards the CT spawn, but Crystal set up a bit of a flash, so Steel's going to get aggressive on short. Crystal finds one through the smoke, and Steel doubles it. Luckily, the trade is there. The smoke on short fading, allowing Edward to get himself into the action, and Zeus even drops the B player. This opens up the option for a mid to be split, but they're still up on short, and Wardell's still trying to lock down mid. Alas, not going to hold for too much longer, and that leaves Crystal alone on the site.
Sketchy situation. 4 versus 3 for Ghost there, but then they get caught both pushing up into tunnel and then losing the duel in mid as well, which shifts this into the man advantage for the favor of NaVi. Not a good look for them. That was 2 intelligent duels, but here comes Crystal. He too attacks from the back line. Sabrosa's inside of the smoke towards CT spawn, and he's going to make some noise as he passed Simple. That's going to be problematic because the bomb just dips out towards A, and they sold that rotate back towards B, where Crystal's the last to fall.
Yeah, nice to see NaVi not instantly commit off the back of that 3-on-2. They slowed it down. They tried to work out where Ghosts were playing. And even with Crystal's aggression down in the lower tunnels, they don't stop in their tracks. 1 over NaVi, to be expected, but a nice start for Ghost to at least have that advantage. Shame to see them lose it after all. But now, double scout coming through in the second round. Ghost are going in with the big buys. We've got a lot of rifles for NaVi, so it's not going to be the easiest of upsets here in the second round, but we already know what pistols are like in this game, Connor, so let's see what happens.
Got some narrow angles off of the smoke, so you could find them with a smidgen of vision if these T's do decide to wrap around that corner. But just like last round, they hesitate. They hold back a little, and you can see Kusta toying with the idea of pushing up through mid, but he's got no clue as to where these guys would be at. Last time there was presence all over. So may not be anticipating 5 guys long, but that's a quick headshot from him, and he retreats right away.
Yeah, it's a bait setup though, because Steel's back here in mid with a scout, and he's even done further damage. Electronic tag down low. This makes him a lot more susceptible to the pistol players as well. So a good response from Ghost to at least do some damage, but it is sent back. Steel on 14. And Sabrosa re-aggressing down on short now as the long split comes through. NaVi are looking to cement their place on this A-bomb site, but Wardell's doing more damage from the back of it. Sabrosa with a quick D tags down another and even takes down Electronic. Oh, Sabrosa! It's just Simple left up, and Ghost Gaming 1 kill away from having done it.
30 health as well for Simple. You can't get past that scout of Wardell despite tagging him to 20. 30 seconds left on the clock, and he's got the bomb on top of all of this. The utility, not looking good for Simple. However, he doesn't realize whether or not he is being wrapped upon from long. It is a patient positioning from Sabrosa. He's getting closer and closer, but yet has he decided to charge on. 10 seconds left, and Simple needs to get across. So Crystal's going to hold the line, and then Wardell will attempt to respond, but there's the first kill. Wardell can't jump the gun. He's just looking to deny the plant, and he's got it dead to rights. He sneaks and slithers across the site, and Ghost win back after pistol.
Oh, and 2 AKs upgraded as well. 2 of the 3 rifles that NaVi brought into that round. So Ghost have just made some serious money. And look at the buy off the back of it. We've got another M4 coming in. We've got 2, in fact. So Ghosts are going to be armed to the teeth, whereas NaVi, they're down to just pistols and a scout. Kind of similar to the buy that Ghost had in the previous round. And they are aware of the possibility of this scout, because we see a nade cross over mid for Ghost, allowing them to jump behind the smoke. Simple's not going to be able to start things off with an early pick off the back of his scout. Now Ghost safely set themselves up. 2 in B, couple on that A site. Nothing too special here from the CT side. But NaVi are just probing with pistols right now, looking for opening kills with these D.
This is where you're just going to want the very talented fraggers that you have to walk around and try to nail some headshots. I mean, if Sabrosa could do it last round, then there's certainly a chance for players like Electronic, Flamey, Zeus, Edward, and Hell Simple Scout to definitely do damage. There's been no contest, no pushing forward from Ghost. They're holding the line here towards Catwalk, thanks to Wardell. But he's going to stay committed to the position. And then Steel's actually got them coming around this corner. So it's a nice little two-man setup with the Molotov down. They're going to force these gunfights. And it is just bodies piling up towards Cat. Simple left over, again the last man standing. But this time around, Hugo, not a single CT dies until finally he connects one.
It's only the SMG. It's not the end of the world here for Ghost, but what a nice bait setup from NaVi. From Ghost there up on short. Steel hiding in the corner, Ordell taking the attention. It's going to really keep NaVi at bay in this round, and Simple's all that stands, but he finds himself a second. Unfortunately, not going to be able to escape. The Sub-Rosa came from the top and middle on that long wrap, but still, another round for Ghost. 2-1 here, and NaVi now having to bite the bullet and go for the full eco. We can't have a buy in this fourth round from NaVi if they want to have rifles coming up soon, which only gives a little bit more of a chance for Ghost to run away with the start of this game.
I mean, it's looking good. It's a strong beginning to this CT side. That is no doubt. But it's going to be an A-long aggression once more. Sabrosa's certainly going to be tested, but he's softened him up thanks to the frag. 5 players on display here. He's done a good job. In terms of taking 100 damage to himself, he's definitely dished out more than he got. But there's no commitment to round the corner yet again. They have retrieved the AK-47, and they're going to put that in the hands of Flamey. And yeah, Hugo, this seems to be their go-to strat. You get a little bit of long control, you disengage, and head back towards middle. But no, not middle this time. They're going to wrap around through spawn.
And look at where Steel is. It's nice to see Ghost aren't playing, scared up against NaVi considering they're underdogs. Steel's pushed up into tunnels. He's got himself into a nice aggressive position. So even when they rush in, he might be able to get a couple of free kills here. Yes, they have some pistols, but they don't have the armor. And that SMG is going to be so damn good. First one round the corner. Zeus drops the bomb. Edward follows in tow. And even Flamey's going down. So Steel, he's making some money. He's shutting down this eco from NaVi. And they're not seeming to have any effect. Oh. There's a fourth. And it's just Simple left up.
I mean, damn, what a smooth anti-eco here from Steel. Really good heads-up play. When Sabrosa spots all of that presence towards long A, he decides to go up into tunnels. If they continue to the long A bomb site, then it's easy for Steel to go from tunnels to mid, and he can quickly get back into the retake. If that pressure disengages and the rest of his team calls that the fallback is inevitable, then suddenly Steel's inside of tunnels, and as you saw, he's very able to catch these players off guard. So just good presence of mind, and like you said, good showing of just a little confidence, willing to give himself into a more susceptible position in order to secure an entire round.
We've got the double up straight into the first buy from Ghost. That's a big investment considering the fact that NaVi don't have one as well. So they'd be giving it over if NaVi managed to win this round. Got to be very careful here if you are Ghost, but it could be a bit of a surprise to allow Ghost to pick up a couple more rounds. Again, if they take this rifle one, they're going to go forward with another anti-eco. So we could even be seeing a 5-1 on the board just due to this buy from Ghost. Let's see if NaVi can catch it off guard though. Sabrosa aggressive on long. This time, Flamey holds for the tunnel push that Ghost are deciding to pull through. So this AWP has got to be quick for Kusta because it's a nice off angle for Flamey, and he's going to find that first kill. Crystal dead, Orp is still there, and only finds the tag in Kusta. And now he's got to fall back because the rest of his team are falling around him.
Yeah, Steel's been cleared off of the catwalk. Now there is still a 2-man core towards long. And a lot of these players from Ghost have been robbed of their kills this round. I mean, the leg onto Flamey, the damage towards Edward. It's all falling apart, however, at this point. Still 5 guys up on NaVi. This is looking like a fantastic first gun round from them. They seem to have gotten their feet beneath them. They've won all the crucial duels, and they move really smoothly towards that bomb site. It's not going to be flawless, as Electronic has fallen. And there is still a chance for additional kills here. Yassine should take his time, because he can definitely deal out the damage.
Yeah, they've got to exit towards long eventually because of that bomb. So if he just holds here, they're going to have kills walking towards him. Unfortunately, Zeus, he gets the timing. He finds the kill. And that is the AWP given over to Simple as well. Certainly not Ghost would have wanted from that round. Slightly unlucky damage coming through, despite having no kills there. And 3-2 scoreline. In fact, that double AWP investment from Ghost actually completely crunched their money. Look at what they're buying up into this round. We've got a CZ, we've got a Scout, we've got an MP7, we've even got a FAMAS. So things are not looking too good for the North American side. Whereas NaVi, on the other side of things, they are looking fantastic in their money, starting things off strong, looking to bounce back and push Ghost to eco. We at least have the AWP on Kusta, but that's posted towards the back of the B site here, so not the best position to try and hold off against multiple players.
I mean, that's a huge hit to the cash. The ramifications of a lost double op buy is certainly shining through here. It's a nice two-man setup yet again towards Cat with Wardell and Sabrosa. We're going to have to see if it works as well as last time when it was Steel. No. Electronic just completely decimates Sabrosa right away. Wardell repositions towards the bomb site, but as per usual, NaVi not throwing themselves forward off of a single kill. They're at least going to play with the timing a little. Keep your eyes on Steel, who was pushed up on long A. He could become a thorn in their backside if they do decide to continue forward off of Cat.
Ghost doubting the B play, though. They've given up that B site tunnel because they hear all these footsteps up short. NaVi are going for it, committing to the A site as a group of 5, which is going to only make matters worse. Simple trying to look for a gap in the smoke, and he does find it. Wardell getting dropped on the cross back to long. And I think Ghost should just probably save. This is looking like a done deal. It's 30 seconds left as the bomb goes down. NaVi still have all 5 players alive and untouched, and Ghost really don't have the weaponry to fight back. So Crystal gets tagged in middle. That's going to call for NaVi to start chasing, but it's only a bait because Kusta is here, so you can start to get a couple of exits.
It's nice to see that the setups of Ghost are still in position in rounds like this. That Cat play could have been something special. It was a slight variation in what we saw with Steel in that same spot earlier. So obviously, this is, to me, the same kind of CT-sided depth that we saw at Zotac Cup Masters from this team. Going into anti-ecos, going into their own ecos, there's very clearly always a strat, and there's always clearly variation in their setups. Keep your eyes on it as we move forward. It's still early days on the CT side, but they are definitely walking into a bit of a brick wall that comes in the form of NaVi. I mean, they have definitely started winning more duels, which is something that they didn't have in their favor in those first 3 rounds. And on top of that, they're doing so flawlessly. Cash not going to be a problem. So many players surviving. And look at the effects. Ghost back onto the USPs. They've lost the advantage and the momentum that they started this map with.
Yeah, good point that you make, though. They always seem to have a plan on these ecos. They always continually buy up utility on them as well. Crystal and Steel, constant on these ecos with flashbang, smokes, etc., trying to set their team up for success. And it is going to work for now because Kusta has actually found the opening kill on this on the A site. In the meantime, NaVi have worked their way out long. Flamey's taken a pretty good position there to catch any re-aggressing Ghost players, but for the time being, the problem is this triple USP, right? You're going to rely quite a lot on the AWP of Kusta and even to some extent the SMG of Crystal to try and find some early kills. And at least they found one, but NaVi shouldn't have too much of a problem of bouncing back from this.
Steel setting his flashbang over mid doors. That's going to play for the contact off of Cat, but they see nothing. Despite there, of course, being Edward nearby, who hears this shuffling up back towards A site. They didn't get anything off of the flash. They didn't get any info themselves, but it did give away information to NaVi. And now they've given away a kill. It's 2, actually, as that long contact comes into fruition for NaVi. Ghost reeling back here as they've lost their AWP, only using the MP7 now with Crystal, but it's still good enough for 1. The WSPs is where this all now falls, and because of that, it should certainly be falling short. Not another kill could really be afforded here, considering the buy and the fact they've lost 2 guys. Ghost didn't come out of this with absolutely nothing, but they're not looking for just kills. They need rounds now. They need that cash back in their pockets, and this is not the result they'd hoped for.
Yeah, money's going to be just on the edge of things in the next round, so certainly not the best of buys for Ghost. But if we remember back to Zotac Cup, they did like their forced buys, more so on the T side of things, but yeah, a lot of very heavy investments where, you know, we didn't always agree with them. So let's see if Ghost repeat that trend here in Masters. The thing is, we've got some seriously better teams coming into this event, so Ghost can't afford to make too many mistakes because they're only a few games away from elimination. For now, they save an AK on Steel. That's not too bad. They're going to get a bit of a bonus, and that will actually allow for a full buy coming up here because Steel was the one with low money after that utility in the previous round. So we should be seeing the buy coming through for Ghost. NaVi, on the other hand, they've still got a plethora of cash. And Ghost actually calling in a pause, maybe choosing how to spread this cash amongst the team.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, you've got 4 pauses to play with. Steel, always the kind of guy to make the most of these timings. So expect him to, smooth things out before we see not only the purchase, but also the play in the next round. I'm glad you bring back up the Zotac Cup, just because if there's any narrative surrounding the MIBR victory in terms of, you know, it's starting the year at starting the second season of this year at a smaller event as favorites where they're clearly meant to win, and then they do so, you could argue that for Ghost as well, that was a definite good showing. They took Kinguin, who have been looking really good, to the very edge. They took him to that third map. And now they just have to do it against even harder opponents. So there's a lot of similarities between Ghost and MIBR's last 2 weeks. And unfortunately for them, it's probably not going to be an easy road. But at least it's a road that has already started. They've shaken off the rust. That's what NaVi had to do. That's what we saw them do after losing the first 3 rounds of this map, following their pistol win. It is just pistols yet again here for Ghost on the most part. There is a second AK, though.
The big thing about this is it screams the fact that Ghosts want the double up back into the CT side, right? They had 4,300 on the majority of players. This buy would have been fine, but the fact that they actually ecoed this round and went for a half buy with pistols shows that they clearly want those AWPs. And I can't blame them. If we think back to that event that we just saw, Wardell was going off, Kusta was having a great time, even Crystal at some points on that AWP. So yeah, it makes sense. It's just going to mean NaVi have another round for essentially free. Or at least it seems to be the case, because 5 rounds are bordering here, with Ghost only having 2 players left up. Steel's aggressive on long, but NaVi aren't taking control back of that part of the map. It's Wardell alone in middle trying to lock things down. And to be honest, even if we see a couple of kills from one of these Ghost players, we have enough NaVi players to trade right back.
Yeah, it's going to be straightforward, and it's going to be a NaVi win. At this point, with them slipping up through tunnels, I don't see a way to stop it. But it is another round where at least you were hoping NaVi could have made a mistake. You may have been able to punish them for it. We've been seeing, even despite these Ts winning rounds, 2 CTs surviving in the back-to-back. This means, of course, there's still that little extra cash. Even going back to the round previous when they get 2 kills and only save 1 of the AKs, like that second rifle could have definitely afforded them a better buy. And I'm not surprised to see Ghost playing so reserved in their purchase decisions, because there are a lot of preparations that go into each and every Ghost game. That's one thing that of a lesser caliber team for North America, there is going to be a constant preparation with Steel. I mean, we saw his sticky notes all across the monitor in Zotac. And there's a reason for that. He takes every game seriously, and he goes in well-versed, which means they're probably not going to stray away from that game plan. And based on what we've seen, I'm going to say that game plan includes a double op setup.
The thing is, while, you know, obviously both teams are comfortable playing this map because it is a best of 1 veto down, so, you know, they've had the option to ban it multiple times. Do you think Ghost really would have prepared for playing this map against NaVi? Again, alongside Cash, this is a map that NaVi do not play. So the question is, you know, how ready were Ghost for Dust2 to come through on the veto? NaVi throwing in a bit of a curveball.
Yeah, no, there's definitely validity to that. It's taken me off guard, but I don't think it would have happened without a reason, right? Yeah. For both of these teams, that is. It's very curious to see. But here we go. This is also curious. A triple op on the field. Simple V, Kusta, and Wardell. It's already some early contact, and over towards long yet again. There is that initial push, but look at this. Ghost Gaming able to shut it down slightly. There's 2 players here. Steel's able to kill Zeus, which then leaves Edward completely stranded, and Sabrosa wants him out of this cubby. The Molotov ensures the kill. The M4 gets it, and just in the first 30 seconds, it's a 5v2.
Yeah, great start for Ghost here. NaVi, again, going for this early long control, and finally Ghost have conned onto it. They put a triple setup there. They were ready for it. They crossed a player into pit, and they won't allow NaVi to get control of this part of the map. Eventually, they give it up, and that's no worry, because we do have a 5v2. But now NaVi are going to be quaking in their boots, trying to draw themselves back from this massive disadvantage. It would be ridiculous if this were to happen, but let's see if Ghosts slip up here. We have Kusta back on long with the AWP. Wardell still sitting down on that B bomb site. And it's just simple and electronic to try and make the dream work.
This is not a position we've seen NaVi in very often. Normally when they were just kind of, you know, grasping at straws, it was only when Simple was alive in a 1v3 or 1v4 situation, much less unlikely type wins. I mean, this is still a stretch, but when you have a second player to work with and you have the 2 statistically highest fraggers of this lineup, then anything is possible. And with Simple having that op, I think you can definitely maybe favor at least the single kill towards this A bomb site. If you can win the duel against Kusta, that's going to be an AWP down, and it's going to leave Sabrosa, the only CT who's already slightly tagged, here to defend it.
But the problem is time. 10 seconds on the clock. NaVi are going to have to just save onto this round. They weren't given a free pick. Maybe if Ghost were over-aggressive there and NaVi got a couple of openers, they would have committed to it. But with Ghost falling back into such a passive setup, it forces the T's to save. So nice to see from Ghost playing reserve, not giving away anything, and getting another round for their troubles. So 5-4. This is still very close, Connor. The question mark to me is, at some point, does NaVi just run away with this game? Do they just turn on and start destroying? Or will Ghost continue to go neck and neck against this roster?
It's very well possible. There is everybody connecting shots here for NaVi, so it's not as though there's a weaker link for Ghost to try and exploit, but it's going to be another fast A clash. Sabrosa's being thrown over off of the flashbangs of his teammates, and Kusta's going to have to trade because he was the first kill of the round. Now the Molotov spreads to the feet, and therefore Kusta's in the open, but Wardell's here to cover. And it seems as though Ghost have managed to get away from this A clash with a man advantage. Now it's very barely held onto. Low HP for Kusta, and Zeus creeps through smoke at the worst possible time. Completely blindsided is he, and suddenly it's 3v3.
Yeah, luckily Flamey was tagged down in mid-doors, so they know where that third player is, or at least was, but they've given up the A site as a result. Wardell's got to rotate back up through that cat position, and Steel's coming in through the smoke. Flash over the top is perfect, but he can't find the angle in the smoke, and Simple will drop him. That's so unfortunate for Steel, because it now leaves Wardell to go down from that short split, and Crystal wondering where it all went wrong. Ghost, they're somehow going to give it away after a double man advantage, and now Crystal, if he can get anything done, that'd be nice. Try and limit the money of NaVi, but Flamey's on the other side of the smoke, and he's ready and waiting. 2 kills from him, 6 rounds from NaVi, and that's the reset to Ghost's economy.
Smoke grenades playing such a key factor in those duels this round. I mean, Zeus catching Kusta is the complete turning point. We had a man advantage for Ghost. We had a player up on catwalk who had a strong position trying to help out towards middle, but Zeus walks forward, kills Kusta, and then you see the attention turn towards long. It was after Zeus's walk through smoke that we saw Steel have to go through his. We saw Crystal up on Cat also have to walk around one, and we saw Wardell trying to watch long with his complete blind side exposed to that Cat peak. So it was an unfortunate turn of events there for Ghost, but excellently done by NaVi. They slowed down in a man disadvantage. They put it all on the IGL, and Zeus, leading by example, cracked the round wide open. Now, it was the reset in terms of round loss bonus, but it's not going to leave them completely strapped for cash. They come in with everything they can afford, and it's at least a primary for the most part. It's Steel on the CZ, and it's 2 shots through the wall for damage in order to start this round.
Yeah, Simple getting the worst of that as well, so certainly a good start for Ghost in that sense, especially considering the weaponry that they bring into this round being extremely limited. NaVi again attempting to get themselves out long. Zeus is already on the other side of the smoke, but it's going to be covered by the doors. Eventually, Steel even takes down Zeus. He was kind of hung out to dry, and Sabrosa gets caught back in tunnels after taking down Flamey. So a nice trade from Electronic, but again, we're going to need some heroics here from NaVi with a disadvantage in Ghost's favor. Edward actually sneaks back in through the smoke. Does Steel expect this? That's a question, because once that smoke fades, he's going to be very exposed, and Edward is busy waiting for that one. So Steel needs to either reposition or be aware of the possibility. It doesn't seem like he is, and flick back round somehow gets the kill. Steel dropping Edward has now opened up this round for Ghost in a massive way.
Yeah, this is big from Steel, and he is playing lights out right now for this lineup, leading it at 11 kills. Finally, he falls to the 3rd man in, but even after he's dealt additional damage, this isn't a good look for Electronic and Simple, but we've seen them here before. Last time they go for the save, this time they're being boxed in. Crystal wraps around from long, and with 30 seconds left over, this is a very similar situation to the last time we saw them. It's actually the same positioning and everything, but it looks like they will favor the walkout. Wardell stops it, and it is traded back by Simple. Now he's got 2 more targets to take, 15 seconds to do so, and he's going to try to close the gap towards sight. Now there's a smoke that covers behind, but Kusta's up in his face. And just like last time when Wardell won on the bomb site, it's Simple caught off guard by the man behind the boxes.
It's nice to see how careful Ghost are there, right? Don't just peek out and take the fight. Wait till Simple's at least got a nade or a bomb in his hands, because it's far safer to peek out then. Not wanting to give away any kind of clutches to the side of NaVi. Ghost are going to bounce back with a that very limited buy that we just saw. Pistols, SMGs, and they make it work. So a double AWP is back in for Ghost. Their bread and butter of the CT side of Dust2. And again, NaVi, they've still got cash to play with, but this will be their last buy, Connor, unless they get a bomb plant or significant damage to allow them to force up. Steele's back on long again, but he's kind of been cornered, and Edward doesn't even want to take the risk, so he falls back. NaVi giving up that long control and instead focusing more so on the tunnels and mid portion of the map. We haven't seen too much B play this T side so far, so maybe NaVi want to switch things up and try something they haven't before.
I really wish I had seen what exactly Steele purchased this round, because I see Wardell on an op with a lot of armor and utility. He is just decked out with cash behind him. So I think that sniper comes from Steele, and he puts himself on the CZ75. Now we saw him again pick up kills with that same weapon over towards long A last round. I believe he dealt something like 250 damage total with it. So clearly not on all too shaky a leg. But right now, like you said, it's that B fixation that's going to be coming into fruition. And Crystal turns his back. The timing is atrocious. Steele in mid gets a kill, and Kusta takes down 2 before he falls in the sight. So he actually manages to swing this back into the favor of Ghost. Good on him, because his teammate died for free. Now the grenades are going to force Sabrosa out into the open. He doesn't spot bodies until after his teammate falls, which leaves us 1v1. Wardell missing the op shot's going to make it close, but he's lost track of Electronic, and the no-scope is good. 5 seconds to defuse. Wardell takes the cake, and the 12th round belongs to Ghost as we are tied at 6.
I love that from Ghost as well, though. They realize now they're going for the plant and trying to commit to the bomb site. And because they're already a man down, instead of Ghost waiting and allowing NaVi to set up in their post-plant positions, Steele gets flashed through the door. He dives in through. We see 2 more come through the window. Ghost wait for nobody and completely catch NaVi off guard, with Sabrosa getting the first of 2 kills. So nice round from Ghost. They're going to be able to turn it back once again. It seems like every time we see Ghost in an awkward spot, they're managing to bounce back quite well. So 6-6, keeping this game close as per usual, but simple. What a great start. Peeking out on long. We haven't had NaVi with a man advantage for a good couple of rounds, so that's exactly what they needed. Dropping the key player, I would say, of Ghost, that being the AWP of Wardell. And while Ghost retrieve that up down from long and Steele backs up, NaVi have made some serious progress up on cap.
And unfortunately for Ghost as well, that second op is still over towards the B site. I mean, Kusa just hasn't really been contested too often. Steele's retrieved the AWP, and Zeus is going to get past the Molotov. Poor Steele is just a roast goose at that point, stuck out in the open. Flamey in middle gets the best of his duel, and just like that, NaVi back on top. Very easily on top as well. They haven't lost a single player at this point, and Kusta's tagged to 7. They've got him honed in at this moment, and so this one's over, Hugo. It is 7-6, NaVi's favor.
Almost seems like Ghosts do better with weaker buys. Whenever they have full rifles and double AWP, they seem to struggle. NaVi, strong T side, but again, this map is pretty equal, Connor, so this isn't too far from what we would expect. However, this is potentially where it can start to fall apart a little bit more. 3rd timeout from Ghost. I will say that's a lot considering we're only 14 rounds in. They've got the whole second half to worry about. But for now, it is just full USPs. They can't invest. They've got to save for that last round and a half. But even then, they won't have a lot to play with. So, I mean, even in this situation, a force wouldn't surprise me from Ghost, because they're only going to have $1,900 loss bonus next round. Combined with whatever they save here leaves them in mostly less than 4K. So, yep, the force comes through. Not a big surprise from Ghost. We're going to have 2 force buys back to back and see if they can at least upset one of them.
They were able to win the round 2 force buy with the double Scout 3 pistol, and that did come off of the back of an initial setup towards long. Now, so consistently, NaVi have been able to deal damage through these doors. That B site has been softened a many time, and Wardell's been contested off long also quite frequently so far in this T side, but he's nearly caught out in the open, does sustain a lot of damage before he even manages any back the other way, and these players are so damn close, but he hits the jumping shot, Poor Flamey tagged to 28. Pistols now flying through. Subroza with what would have been a fantastic chance for even more. The damage is good from the CTs. He's managed the kill through smoke, and despite now the bullets flying the other way, it's a 3v3 regardless.
Oh, but he dives on through, and that gives Zeus a double kill to come through for NaVi. This has now turned the tide of battle as it's put the teams back in control of the situation, and they're just going to be able to double peek, find 2 kills off the back of that, and Goose is all that remains. I feel like Ghost didn't need to chase those kills through the smoke, and NaVi, a 3-on-5, absolutely no issue to convert, and that's 8 rounds on this T side. Big mistakes from Ghost.
I mean, it's such a punishable decision for them to charge through smoke like that. But also remember, when they're contesting the round at the most part, it's when they're running through that smoke and trying to create some waves versus NaVi on their cross towards site. Once the grenade fades, look how easy it is for NaVi to just pick up all of those pieces. If everybody had waited on the other side of that smoke, I don't think the outcome changes. I think it's just actually even easier because NaVi haven't lost that one player caught off guard. If you think about Subroza's initial peak, he had, what, 3-4 NaVi players fully blind? So, yeah. A little contest I'm down with. I feel like everybody just kind of got stranded between CT ramp at the end of that.
Ooh, another pick. NaVi are already up long as well. Ghost have given up this portion of the map and the worst possible round. Maybe continually expecting this B play that NaVi have just been reluctant to go for. It's continually long, and the bomb going down puts Ghost already 2 men down. The time ticking against them. Kuster on the long flank, but he doesn't realize he's being wrapped as well. Does actually turn around. So there's Electronic dead, but in the midst of all this madness, NaVi have almost guaranteed their 9th round of the half, which is a pretty damn good half on the T side here. Ghost putting up some resistance, but this retake looking almost impossible. Flamey lines up 2, and that's the half as you like it. 9-6. I wouldn't say that's too bad for either team. NaVi obviously impressing as they are the expected victor in this matchup, but hey, Ghost put up a fight.
Yeah, Ghost did put up a fight, and what's exciting is they put up a fight in rounds they're not supposed to. Like you said, with the double op setups, with the full rifle buys, we ended up watching NaVi win the majority of those. It was in the shakeups. It was in the half buys when the economy was really against the wall that things seemed to go the way of Ghost. And maybe it's NaVi being caught off guard on those kinds of rounds. I would say that the level of preparation and strategy that Ghost employ in rounds like that is pretty unexpected for a team of their caliber. So it's always a nice thing to see. Again, I feel like this is a lineup that always makes the most of every opportunity. Steel knows that you can win any single round in Counter-Strike, no matter what your buy, and he's going to indoctrinate his teammates in that belief. So clearly it worked at times. Imagine how lopsided of a score we would have had there, Hugo, had once that reset happened in the 10th round. Had, of course, Ghost not won back on the force buy. We're looking at, then at that point, 5 rounds max, 4 even, I would argue.
Or even the second round, right? Because NaVi picked up pistol and Ghost bounced back with 3 consecutive rounds. That was their longest streak the entire half. So if NaVi converted their pistol round, this could have been an absolute decimation. And it still can be, Connor. Yeah. Because, again, NaVi had the option to go 12-6 before we even see rifles on Ghost if things go to plan. So let's be a little bit cautious if you are Ghost in this round. They are looking to burst out through mid for the time being. Kuster spotting. There's a double setup here from NaVi. We've been seeing most teams run double setups in mid, at least on this map. It doesn't surprise us because it's so easy to just walk out if you are Ghost. But for now, they reconvert down towards long instead. A bit of utility going over the top and middle, but nice shot from Flamey. That's going to drop Steel straight away and already give NaVi an advantage, but not for long.
Yeah, Kusta nails Simple back behind Car. So now this conga line's going to charge its way down long. Flamey even spotting bodies on the cross. The flashbangs are what makes these possibilities open. And Subroza's looking to plant now. So man advantage here for Ghost. This pistol would be huge, but Zeus looks to swing it back into his favor as he attempts to duel versus Wardell. He'll lose that second fight. He'll push it onto Electronic, who's already thrown his way up Cat. Subroza giving him some respect in the regards of walking upwards, but it is all a trap. By the time he gets closer to the site, they double peek and they secure themselves a pistol. This is good for Ghost. Like you said, it could have gone either way that first half. We could have seen Ghost close this gap even more so, and we could have seen them get completely washed out. By winning the second pistol, they've primed themselves to maybe close this gap in terms of rounds. However, it is a force buy ahead. There's a scout in play for Simple, and that scares the hell out of me.
Well, yeah, luckily enough, there's no armor here for NaVi, so it's actually a fairly weak buy, all things considered. They put some money in, but they're not heavy on the purchase here, so this gives even more of a chance for Ghost to find the conversions, and that's exactly what they need if they actually want to have some leg room in this map. Steel dead in the tunnel, simple as you like it from Flamey.
That's twice now he's been one-tapped by Flamey so far.
Yeah. NaVi have been doing really well with the pistols as well, right? We've been seeing a lot of Deegs come through, especially from Simple. Not going to make things easy when these are rounds you should be winning if you are Ghost. Luckily, they do have a response up on long. Waddell killing Simple on the site. 2 more players here for NaVi, but quick rotations are coming through, so Ghost need to make sure they cross before that happens. Edward's going to get decked on the back of the site, and it is just Zeus hiding in the corner for the time being.
The utility is now completely out for NaVi, so the retake not going to be too easy. Bank frag clears Zeus, as he did give himself away, and Crystal with a duo of frags towards the end of this one. Electronic is footing us so far away from the site that he can do nothing, and so Ghost have managed to move forward with a conversion off second pistol. Hugo, this is going to close the round gap. They should be able to tie it at 9 rounds apiece, which leaves me to believe this has been a back and forth, neck and neck type matchup, although I think NaVi have still looked better, believe it or not. Like, that's the, the score is as close because Ghost have such resiliency. They will not go down without a fight. They will not give up in rounds that they are not favored. And so here we are, getting into the 20th and so on rounds, and again, still tied up.
But that's a lot of it, right? When we've seen full rifle rounds, Ghost with dull AWPs, NaVi with a full buy, they've been typically winning these. It's when they underestimate Ghost, when we see second round force buys, pistol AWP scout buys. That's when Ghost have been getting surprise rounds on the board. So, yeah, maybe a bit of underestimating for NaVi. They can't afford to continue that way if they want to actually have a chance to win this map. Because right now, Ghost, as you say, looking to tie the score. NaVi, pistols, that's about it. Electronic on her SMG, but it's a fast tunnel push. The Steel's on the other side. He's definitely going to get overwhelmed here, but he does manage to take down Flamey on the edge of that Molotov. Needs to get a reload in, as there's still 2 more players where that came from, but hey, a 2-for-1 isn't too bad considering he was so low, and it's created enough of distraction to allow Ghost to take down a bomb site.
Yeah, good job in creating an opportunity there. The fact that he even survives it is pretty miraculous. I mean, even had he not taken down a second player, he just killed so much time for NaVi that they weren't able to quickly overwhelm him, grab his gun, and transition into the middle of the map where they could have also caught Wardell completely alone. From that point, then having, 2-3 weapons to move forward on an attempted retake. I'm not saying that NaVi would have won the round if Steel dies sooner, but they certainly could have at least tried to deal additional damage.
Wardell!
This is easy. Money in the bank.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
It is not money in the bank. It is not money in the bank, Hugo. It is a whip around from Simple, and that one's gotta hurt.
Oh, no.
Simple's too good for that. You can't do that to him.
Come on, buddy. That's at least he only had an SMG, but that is not fun. 9-9. That would have definitely built up some more confidence for Ghost, and maybe it even would have made Simple mad, mad enough that he goes off. Who knows? He's got the AWP anyway. We've got 2 of them, in fact, for the NaVi side. Flamey on that secondary AWP. Flash up long.
That actually has huge ramifications. I mean, Wardell would be sitting on like $4,000, $3,000 right now.
Every death matters, Connor.
That's too funny.
Dear, oh dear.
I feel as though it's my fault. Money in the bank, he says.
You jinxed it.
What a change of pace in this first gun round. You can really feel these teams sizing each other up.
If NaVi can win this round, it'd be so profitable as well. They have 2 SMGs. They don't have utility. This is not the best of buys. Ghost, on the other hand, armed to the teeth. We saw a similar story coming into the first buy round of the previous half, where Ghost was so better equipped than NaVi in terms of having 2 AWPs, yet still lose a round and give all these upgrades over. Simple moving up short towards the cap. Sub Rose is already going to get decked. That's going to be the revenge frag. So Ghost now a man down, and Simple, he's just going to retreat. Wants nothing to do with that. Flamey, in the meantime, he's the one in tunnel trying to take the fight to Wardell, but they're just on the edge of the peak. There's the peak from Wardell. He goes down. Flamey doubles it. Bomb in the tunnels. And this is falling apart for Ghost Gaming. Only Steel left.
Wow. A calamity suddenly versus Ghost. Zeus looking to seal this one with the final kill, but Steel's gonna at least get something. It's the double op setup that we watched Ghost try and utilize with one on A, one towards B. The difference being that Kusta on the B bomb site was so rarely given duels. This time, Flamey, he's not even flashed off of the angle. The first casualty comes from Ordell, who is trying to slowly walk peek the back of the bomb site, which I think, even if Flamey was back there, is not a good idea. Positioning Flamey even closer with an off angle, you clearly see the rewards of such a situation. That's a nice 3K from him. They never even get him off of his initial position. Just an easy, easy time for him. And a 10th round for Navi.
Well, let's see if Ghost can continue the tradition of winning with these weak buys. No AWP, 1 CZ, 4 AKs, and limited utility, but a fast pace. Wardell's already out long, and it seemed like Ghost were, for a second, going for that charge. However, they backed off pretty quickly. So Steel's actually got an AK now. He found that back from the spawn, so maybe that was part of the reason Ghost didn't commit, because he forgot his gun. Do have the double up though for NaVi and a AAA setup with even a man in middle, because look at Electronic's position. He's pushed all the way in through the T spawn. So much information gained from this. NaVi going to be ready for any kind of shenanigans up on this A bomb site. With Ghost having 2 players up on short, they've got to be very careful from this flank, because it's going to allow Electronic to maybe find a line of sight on the edge of this smoke. NaVi is just delaying Ghost to allow Electronic to do the damage, and here he comes. There's one. His teammate does go down in the meantime, but Electronic has now shown his face, and Ghost will now know that they're being flanked.
Yeah, but if they go forward right here and now, then they still have a chance at the bomb site. They've gotten past this flank. They don't have to deal with it as much because they win every single duel towards A. Now, Electronic, sure, he's already back up on Cat, and the Molotov will give way of his presence, so he decides to reposition. It's going to come through CT spawn instead. And with a smoke grenade there, he's very easily going to be able to creep up closer to the bomb site. This is big for Electronic. This is so winnable. If he can land another headshot, now that he knows Kusta's in the corner and Electronic's trying to nail him, he does. And that is massive. Would have been Ghost's tying round, and instead, Electronic takes it further.
That's such a surprise that Ghost even get himself into that round, right? Because of the flank from Electronic, they even know that there's going to be a stack on the site. If Electronic has gone for such a ballsy wrap round, Ghost should be expecting the fact that NaVi have 4 players there. And despite the fact they even get the bomb down and pull themselves into an advantageous situation, still they lose the clutch. Oh, you hate to see it for Ghost. That's going to come back to haunt them now, because NaVi, they've wrapped a couple of rounds together, and now we have pistols out for the T side, sorry. NaVi well equipped again, and this is where things could start to get very, very difficult for the Ghost team. Crystal's already out on long. The smoke cuts off Edward, but Zeus is in the pit, and that will be enough to force Crystal back.
Yeah, Crystal manages to retreat thanks to the first push, but it's simple towards the B bomb site with a teammate back behind him that's just going to start to cut down the numbers. Sabrosa desperately tries to run through smoke, and by the time he gets into the site, he sits on 14 HP. It is not a good look in this round. Considering how much damage and footing we tend to see Ghost get on buys like this one's a complete and utter denial. 5 guys up, a little damage towards the end, but Simple shakes it off. And the double op setup survives. So this CT side, despite losing pistol and the 3 rounds off of it, is definitely starting to come into its own. NaVi looks like they may be shutting this down, but it is a buyback for Ghost. They'll have a chance here, although these chances, less and less will be coming. Whoa.
Definitely a nice start. The start that Ghost needed this round as well with his force bite. Things are already difficult with the weaponry being so limited, but now with the man down on NaVi, Ghosts are going to be pretty happy about that one. So Flamey gets caught on the cross. We have now Ghost slow things down. Similarly to how NaVi did in their T side, they never really bounded or rushed into a bomb site after a pick. They slowed, they allowed to see if Ghost get aggressive and try and take some map control. And that's exactly what Ghost are doing. And luckily enough, NaVi are also pushing. Edward's down up on short. Do have Electronic close in middle still, and he's going to get flashed out, taking control towards lower, and that's a big pick to trade back onto Sub-Rosa. He does get tagged up, but it's still a man advantage drawn to an equal situation, but Wardell rectifies that immediately.
It's wild to think that of all the times NaVi had a scope down middle on their T side, I don't think they ever actually got an initial kill. It was constant damage, but never a 5v4 pick. So cool to see Ghost try and work with this. But as they get closer to the bomb site, they are still taking further damage. It's a great double kill off of Kusta's Galil. that allows for this plant to come in, and it's Electronic in a clutch once more. However, too much to lose and not enough to gain. He's going to walk away from this one, and that's a 10th for Ghost. Again, this game's not over. They are making NaVi sweat.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the expected potential, grand finalists for this event. NaVi coming off the back of some pretty strong recent performances. I mean, even at last Masters, as we said earlier, coming second place to Astralis. So let's just remember that Ghost are actually doing a pretty, trying to find a pretty sizable win to open up Group B here on day number 1. Even if they don't find a win, even if they get a lot of rounds, it can show what this team is made of. And they've definitely impressed us in the last couple of days with their performance in Hong Kong. So 10-12, keeping this game close as can be. NaVi's money is a bit of a state, but they can afford to get one more buyout before they go down to an eco. Double AWP, SMG for Edward, couple of rifles as well. Not the worst of situations, but economy really has been back and forth for both teams. We've never really seen any consistent buy-ups. A lot of eco wins, and Flamey again, 2 rounds in a row, gonna get decked in middle.
I'm glad I brought it up that we never saw NaVi do that, because now suddenly we've got it back-to-back rounds from Ghost, and then never mind, this one seems over. A complete and utter 180 just unfolded here, and it's not over yet. Edward even with another off the MP9. That is a flurry of frags coming forward for NaVi in what seemed like a span of a second.
And they've even spotted Wardell on the top of mid, which certainly doesn't make matters easier, because now NaVi are on the hunt. Look at how confident they are, just chasing towards a spawn. Wardell's trying to hold on, but he can't stand the test of time. Double AWP can even be secured for NaVi. And that is certainly not the round you want to lose if you're Ghost. So 10-13 now, Connor. And that's another reset to Ghost economy. As if we've not had enough of those.
Wardell, 3 for 3. No, not this time. Not this time. 5-man group up outside long. No presence immediately shown towards long A. I think this time they're going to be a little more scared of the utility and potential push that we saw last round NaVi use in order to mop them up. Now, it is going to be what looks like a very quick A pinch, though. There's already footing up catwalk, and there's 3 defenders from NaVi between long and the bomb site.
It's just a timing burst right now. Simple. He needs to be aware of long if Zeus can't hold it on his own, and that's very likely considering how many players are coming through. He's going to need a massive performance here. CZ around the corner for Kusta. The double peek comes through, and there's the burst kill. Kusta opening up, guns dropped on the floor, and that's exactly what Ghosts need in this round, considering how limited their weaponry are. Edward's going to get flashed up on the site, and Simple does find one for the car, but it is only one. Wardell trading, and here's the split, well timed from Ghost, explosive, and Edward can't stand it either. It's only Flamey left up, and although he wasn't picked in middle, he's probably not going to be able to find too much success in this round either.
Wow. I mean, when we see Ghost get ready for that A pinch, they had no vision towards mid. And I thought surely that with the first kill and a second coming in, that the rotates from middle towards catwalk could have very easily denied Ghost Gaming. But then there's a kill from Crystal with that deagle towards ramp, and the additional Mac 10 spray down from Sabrosa that just seems to lock this one down. So Ghost again are making waves here, and this is going to be atrocious for the economy of NaVi. They're lucky that they still have some cash in their coffers, 3.9 and 3.8 on Electronic and Simple respectively. So there's something in this, right? They, I imagine, will buy back in order to try and keep Ghost at bay, but they have to be careful, because if they decide to purchase, then an additional loss is really going to set them back and allow for Ghost to get onto the cusp of securing OT here at the very least. If they don't buy and they play conservatively, then all of a sudden, once again, Ghost is slipping forward with 12, 13 rounds. So because this game has been so consistently back and forth, because Ghost were taking pauses and ensuring NaVi never got more than 3, 4 rounds of a lead, this is the result of that. A consistent struggle from Ghost, the resiliency not to go down easy today in the opening matchup of Group B. And suddenly we're looking at the last 5 rounds of this matchup on Dust2. This is insane. Ghost versus NaVi. We're not supposed to be here, Hugo. We're supposed to be done already.
And NaVi is starting to realize that the pressure really is on, Connor. A final pause called out from NaVi, their first of the map, whereas Ghost have used 3 in the first half. Pressure really is ramping up. And yeah, again, the force buys from Ghost just seem to be unstoppable. That's another pistol round won by this T side. As a result, you say to yourself, NaVi on the cusp of losing out on all their cash. We've got the AWP on Simple. That's massive, but everything around it's fairly weak, and Sub Rose has already started off. It's the double push to tunnels that he catches off guard. Massive advantage for Ghost. I wouldn't be surprised if they just barrel into the bomb site, because it's unlikely there are more than 2 players here on B, and Ghost to work that out. It's a site taken control of, and as we know how B is on Dust2, probably the round.
Yeah, that's a massive play for Subroza, and it's not the first time we see NaVi decide to throw 2 players into tunnels early on. It was red. Subroza prepared for it, but most notably, he hits a really smooth first headshot on the player trying to swing as wide as possible. Now the additional damage is being stacked up, Steel towards long, making sure that none of these guns are held onto, but he's not going to survive that one from behind. He was never supposed to, and made it look way closer than it should have ever been. Easy upgrade for Zeus, AK, AWP, and they're going to try and lock this down in pit, but look at the hunting party that comes moving forward. It's a very timid hunting party. It stopped in spawn.
They weren't too hungry.
They decided to gather some berries instead.
This is happening, Connor. This is actually happening. Look at the money of NaVi. Again, like, the thing is, as Ghost have certainly proven this game, NaVi know they can win every round, right? Realistically, they can go into an eco. They still have a good chance. They are the better team without a doubt. But Ghost are performing a pretty crazy upset right now. If they can go full swing, they are still down a round, but there should be a chance to pull them up to 13, considering NaVi only really have 2 guns to work with. Everything else is limited. Dive through middle from Steel. That's risky because Flamey's playing bait setup there with the AWP on the corner. He finds himself an AK, and now this makes matters worse. Now NaVi are a little bit more well-equipped.
That, to me, is a bewildering, uncharacteristic decision from Steel. But it does create... Oh, wait! It creates such a distraction in middle that Subroza is able to walk out of tunnels for it. So the only reason I can see a guy like Steel just throwing himself in mid like that is in order to create attention and to draw it away from the B site so that Subroza can go for an entry. And sure enough, that's exactly what happens. He finds a kill on both door and window.
That's so well read. NaVi are completely given up the B site, and again, bomb down B site. This is so hard to retake. NaVi, they want nothing to do with it, Connor. No way. I was just questioning the push out from mid as well, but that is ridiculous.
See, this is why Steel is a genius. He shrouds his intelligence in what looks like stupidity, and all of a sudden, it is Ghost Gaming at 13 rounds apiece with NaVi's economy against the ropes. This was sick, because that's a big gamble. If you give away an AK to a team that's already only on 2 weapons, then you certainly increase their chances. And most notably, to do that at the beginning of the round with 0 trade potential. It had to have been a setup, and I think that because of Subroza's entry kills, it's the only reason that I realized what was going on. If, of course, that had not unfolded that way, it would have gone way over my head. Steel's just too smart.
Big brains. 13-13 now, and we do have the T-side double AWP. First time we've seen it from Ghost. NaVi, of course, able to buy because they did triple save in that previous round. But Connor, again, whoever wins this round is likely going to go forward with 15. I mean, more likely for Ghost because it would push NaVi to eco, whereas Ghost actually have money left in the bank. So it's a very good chance Ghost could even find this one, get a 14th, push NaVi to either an eco or likely a force buy, and find themselves map and match point for this best of 1. What a ridiculous opening game this would be if they can continue. So let's see. Simple, aggressive on short, wants to take matters into his own hands with this AWP, but the smoke down on B again holds Ghost back from going for the push. They spray through it, they do some damage, but nothing too crazy. They are very committed to this B site for now, though, Ghost, so we'll see if they continue to do so. Steel's back in middle, so maybe he'll be creeping out once more with this quick B play. But I don't think NaVi will fall for the same kind of setup again. Molotov for Subroza is good. It does force Electronic out, and there's the pick again. Subroza has consistently been opening up this B site.
But the near lineup for Zeus almost costs them 2. It is a casualty versus Wardell, and Kusta gets the edge on Flamey. Now that's a smoke towards door, and for the amount of times that we saw NaVi ignore the B bomb site, Ghost are making up for it. This is 3 consecutive rounds they have head this direction, and it's 3 bomb plants on top of it. But do NaVi with their economy, again, against the ropes, decide to go for a retake here in the 27th round because they have the utility on Simple. He's got the AWP, not the best of guns to try and retake B, but look at Sabrosa. He's creeping his way through middle doors. And if he blindsides Simple, who's making a bit of a ruckus right now, then this round is over. Even if the retake's not on, Sabrosa's going to nail them both straight against the wall. That's an easy cleanup. Edward, sure enough, finds some footing in the round, but not much other than an op. 14-13, Ghost will take the lead.
And more saves coming through from NaVi. They just can't contest this B bomb site. Ghost. I mean, this is more than impressive now. And look at the money. We already talked about it, Connor. Certainly will be a buy from NaVi. It's a little bit more than you would expect. They even have that saved up, as we said. But 14-13, Ghost to 1 round away from finding that guaranteed overtime at the very least. NaVi, what do they have to stop them? It's a double AWP coming through once again. It's, you know, enough to get this round done, but apparently hasn't been the case for the previous few, because Ghost is still a round up. They slow play that T-spawn once again, not bursting into any quick sight. We haven't seen any rushes really, apart from that one hint on the A site up through short and long. Zeus even gets tagged early on in this round, so he's going to get hit on long doors and has to fall back. 50 HP, Ghost chipping away at the players of the CT side.
Now the real pressure starts to sink in if you are Ghost. This would be big for them. If their victory over Optic was the largest LAN accomplishment of a lot of those players, then think of what this would be. Sure, it's a best-of-1 opening group. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves, and it's also not over. But I'm trying to paint a picture whereby you can understand why these players would be feeling the tension of this moment, and that tension could create mistakes. Let's hope that Ghost, for their sake, are able to cool their jets, deep breaths, and 2 more rounds. But they're going to have to finish this one in 45 seconds. And they have a huge utility advantage over the CT side, but Simple scoped in and Steel dodges the initial shot. They're feeling up the A site, but I don't know if they commit with this.
No, look at B right now. Kusa's already crept in through the tunnel. He's walked around the edge of the smoke. So if he can get into the site and find a pick, maybe, just maybe, Ghost can barrel back. They're doing it anyway, but there it is. Kusa's found the opener. Electronic walks back through the door to his death, and there's one more man on the back of the site, but that's the man he has to step up. Flamey alone with 1 shot connected. The follow-up missed, and Steel will trade him right back. Ghost are losing players, but they are gaining ground. 10 seconds left as the bomb gets planted, and this round cannot be a save from NaVi. They've got to give it their all. We have a limited bit of utility left on the CT side, a solo flashbang, but they've got the kits to cut down the time.
Wow. This is sick. Kusta just slithers his way into the bomb site, makes for this opportunity. 15 seconds left when they manage the plant, but there's a boost over smoke, and Wardell sniffs it out. Look at the damage he's already dealt, and they've gone on the retreat. They're giving up 15.
It's been so consistent every time Ghost take that B site. Have we even seen NaVi attempt to retake it properly? Yes, of course. I'm not saying it's easy. That was an extremely difficult round to get your footing back in, but NaVi has just not been able to even fight back. 15-13, and Simple even killed at the end of the round. Zeus is going to trade, but it's a trade right back from Steel. The money of NaVi crushed.
I don't get that run back from Zeus. He could have easily just ejected towards long, saved with his teammate, and they wouldn't be looking currently at an MP9 or this lackluster utility. But all right, they get out relatively well enough. What matters most is the fact that Ghost are sitting on 15. We have 2 rounds for these guys to finish this map. An incredible upset to open up DreamHack Masters Stockholm, the biggest stage these players have, some of them, ever been on. Take that into consideration. How do you start the day with this, Hugo? It is 7:13 a.m. Eastern time, and I am wide awake.
Yeah, and considering over on the other stream, Astralis is just 16-3 Greyhound, the upset is looking.
That's what this could have been.
Yeah, right. Totally. But Ghost have done their preparation, Connor. Again, you know, Greyhound definitely an upcoming team, but Ghost have already proven just this week that they can beat the best on LAN. Let's see if they can continue in that stride as well here in round number 29. It'd be nice for them to close it out before NaVi have a better buy behind them. Because for now, as you already said, over hunting in the previous round has left into an MP9, a FAMAS, and 3 M4s. No real utility left up. And Ghost looking back towards this A site, but they haven't taken control of long. So if it is a split, they've got to get rid of Zeus, who's playing close on the corner. 45 seconds left, and Ghost, they're very slow. They're just holding on for any kind of aggression, but NaVi aren't bringing it. Even in the tunnels, while they're playing close, they're not pushed through. And now Zeus, he's going to be pushed. He's cornered here alone. They've got a Molotov for this position, but will they focus on it? Or will they look over to the right side? Zeus gets tagged a little bit, but they don't know fully that he's there. The kill's through, but Edward trades right back. 2 from him, make it a third. Wardell's been finished off, and it's only 2 for Ghost.
Oh, but a jump down from the catwalk thanks to Sabrosa is going to give him a little bit more footing. Edward looking for the ace at this point. It would be a hell of a round. And it's electronic to take the last man down. It is still a fantastic job from Edward. For somebody who has been floating around the bottom of the scoreboard, what a round for him to turn things around. That was a big multi-frag on long, most notably because Zeus died with no contest. It was Crystal who jumps out, clears him from the corner, and then Edward left to pick up the pieces, and me oh my, did he ever.
That may be what NaVi needed. But again, Connor, we've already talked about these low buys being successful for Ghost, and they've actually got a fair bit of money on a couple of players. So Brosa's on 6,000. Steel's already bought up an AWP. As the last pause for the Ghost side finishes off, let's see how they spread this money. Certainly not too well. Got a couple of guns dropped on the floor, though, so it's not the be-all and end-all for Ghost. They can buy up for this final round of regulation, but I am expecting overtime at this point, Connor, and what a way to start off day number 1. Match number 1 here on the B stream.
See where the double op on this T side decides to set itself up. Wardell immediately scouring down tunnels, trying to pluck a man off of the B-bomb site. He'd love to thin the numbers early on. He was consistently picking up picks when he was watching mid-doors at the beginning of some rounds, but it has been a long time since we've seen them throw that strat. It had been quite a little while since we had even seen Ghost head towards the A-bomb site, and last round when they change things up, they lose, arguably because of it. They met Edward, the holder of long, but now 4 players grouped up towards the B site. Electronic in the back of the bomb site. He's gonna be able to take himself the first kill, but it is traded thanks to Sabrosa's flames.
Oh, that's a big pick. Edward peeks out with a Molotov on short, and Steel will catch him off, holding down with the AWP. Zeus is hiding at the back of the site, and he knows Steel's pushed up as well. He does find the kill. In the meantime, Simple even drops another one as NaVi, they hold down against his short split. Ghost, do they give up with the A site? Because with 2 players there and a third man in middle, that only makes matters worse. With 37 seconds left, Ghost look to retreat back towards the B site. Simple's going to spot the player moving up, and Wardell even goes down from Zeus. This is falling apart here from Ghost. NaVi are 1 frag away from drawing us away to overtime, and even though Kusta's doing damage through the wall, it's going to be a small consolation. Zeus is on the hunt. Kusta holds off, and there it is. Overtime in the opening game here of DreamHack Masters Stockholm.
Wow, what a way to kick off the day. What a way to make this comeback happen. I mean, 5 rounds consecutive picked up by Ghost there towards the end of their T side. It was looking so smooth. But then these last 2 were a certain shakeup. I mean, this 30th round had a lot of similarities to what would have been the 27th. The one time we see Kusa creep up into the B-bomb site, work his way around the smoke, while the 4-man core were prepared on the other side of the map. That's a kind of setup whereby clearly you have, you know, this cohort of offense and then the 1-man elsewhere that could possibly completely change rounds. Kusta did it successfully. Steel started it, which pulled his team away from tunnels, but then it was Zeus's kill inside of the bomb site that really shut them down. On top of that, he continued forward. He catches their retreat through lower tunnels and pushes it into the 1 versus 3, where, as you've seen, NaVi pick up the round. Overtime is upon us. 4 ops on the battlefield, and a game that just won't end.
Yeah, money out the window here, at least for the start of overtime. 16k, MR3. 4 AWPs, as you say, Connor. And Ghost, they've been given long control here. That's a big surprise considering the fact that NaVi have these AWPs to actually fight back, but both these AWPs are on other parts of the map. Simple's down on short. We got Flamey back in the tunnels as we've seen him before. And maybe he'll get a little bit hungry because he's already begun to push up and Steel's on the other side. So a dangerous push if he commits to it. But he won't for now. Ghost trying to feel out exactly where Na'Vi is setting up, and back towards long they do head with 4 players, still lurking around this lower tunnel. But if he does try and late split that short position, Simple's going to be in a great spot to shut him down. However, Steel could also play the role of catching these B rotates if his team is successful with getting onto the site. Let's see. Flash over. Subrosa with a peek, and he does get tagged, but he finds a kill anyway. One more man at the back of the site, and Edward's going to get decked by Crystal. Nice openers for Ghost as they get the bomb down towards the bomb site.
Electronic just pegs Wardell in the face through smoke on the cross. Then he wraps around and gets the kill towards middle. Coming to join Simple just here towards Cat. It's Subrosa with a flash yet again. They are setting him up to succeed so incredibly well, and more importantly, consistently on these entries. Simple, though, he spots his back. Subrosa, that doesn't work. And that's going to gear them up for, you know, a little more of a retake, but I don't know if Na'Vi go for this. I highly doubt it, honestly.
Yeah, look at how many rounds they saved in the previous, and although, you know, money is no longer a factor, at least in overtime, neither is around. They're not going to be able to win it. The time is gone. Flamey's finding exits left and right with a bit of support from Simple as well, but that will only attribute itself to a bit of damage. The damage is not good enough here in overtime, Connor. It's Ghost opening up with round number 16. It's first to 4.
I love how smooth Subrosa is on those entries through flashbangs. You know, we're thinking to ourselves, like, wow, the confidence, the team play. And then we see him just hiding in the corner with his ass sticking out. Like, such a contrast. But at least it didn't, you know, initialize the retake. Because imagine had that happened 10 seconds sooner. Who knows what could have been, but we're doing a little bit of a throwback. This is how the T side started once upon a time, the mid picks. And this time off of the kill, look at the way Ghosts are going to just use this footing to try and excel themselves towards B.
There's only one player here. Electron is going to dive through the smoke, and Crystal finds him after throwing the Molotov, and Na'Vi are already smoked off in the CT spawn corner. They can't fight back. It's the B site again for Ghost with a 5-on-3. And even in overtime, Connor, when the experience should reign supreme, Na'Vi are 2 rounds down. They cannot win this one.
I think what's been a complete and utter change-up since overtime, and this is, I think, something that's catching Na'Vi off guard, and because we're in overtime, not giving them time to adapt is the pace of the executions. Think back to the last 3-4 rounds of that T-side in regulation, and we're watching Ghost execute with 45, 30 seconds left on the clock, over and over. This time, there are 4 guys out through middle doors in the opening 20 seconds of this round. How are Na'Vi meant to expect that?
And how are they meant to deal with it again? These B sites have been unretakeable, and now we go to the last round of their CT side. They need this, Connor. They need everything they can get. Yes, their T side was strong, and they had the advantage going forward with a 9-6 half, but Ghost have 3 opportunities to win 1 round if they can get this final one. However, we're not there just yet. Crystal's going to get tagged down the middle from Flamey. He was picked in the previous round, but this time he's smoked off to disallow that, and the Molotov even finishes off the job. So Crystal going down. Finally, Na'Vi with a man advantage. It seems like that's been so rare.
It really has been. It really has been, Hugo. It looks like middle doors will be sought after yet again. Kusta scoped towards the B site. Subrosa's trying to give him cover, but Zeus creeps in for a double kill. That's a big one. This is certainly the opening and possibly the closing of this first overtime half that Na'Vi wanted, because they've got the bomb on their side of things. They've got an enemy behind the lines in the form of Edward. Yeah, this round's done. It's going to be 17-16 most certainly. And that, Hugo, leaves me scratching my head, because with what we started to see from Na'Vi in regulation and their ability to close out the 29th and 30th round, I was thinking that this T side was going to start to struggle. But what I like is that Ghost, coming into overtime, completely changed things up. And again, by the 3rd round, it seems like Na'Vi have an inkling as to what's going on, and they're able to contain that aggression. They're able to give themselves at least this 1-point buffer. But for the first 2 rounds of overtime, it certainly caught them with their pants down.
Yeah, I'm just worried going forward to the second half now that if we think back to, you know, Ghost's CT side, they won so many ecos, they won so many pistol rounds in the sense of these forces, that now that they've actually got everything to play with, will it, you know, be enough? As weird as that sounds, it was the rounds that Na'Vi, you know, weren't expecting Ghost to have any footing into the round that they actually picked up, and now we see a double op in the first one.
No, triple op.
Triple op, sorry.
That's pretty sick, but a little too aggressive is Wardell.
Double.
Simple. Just, yeah, double now. It's still 2 ops up. You're absolutely right. And they're both honed in on the extremities of the map, but that's not where the T's have gone. NaVi engage in middle, and they're going to find Sabrosa all alone. 19 health left over after his duel versus Zeus. So he lays down the utility to try and keep NaVi back, burn time off of the clock, and even re-engage here. He's got to be careful. But in the meantime, Kusta gets a kill.
And not just any kill, but Simple going down on short. That's the AWP gone for NaVi. This is starting to look dangerous. However, Edward may have Steel dead to rights if he continues to push up on long. He does sit towards the dumpster, and Edward looking to trash him back. Patient as ever. We do actually have Electronic snuck up on the site. Don't know how he's got here so deep, but NaVi, they've now got a serious control of this round. They're up on the A bomb site. They've got this late lurk through long that Steel may not expect once he sets up for the retake. As long as the player coming up through the T spawn plays his cards right, Edward may be able to shut this down. So NaVi all over the site, the bomb down, a 2-on-3 retake. This is not looking good. Edward's come out at the perfect time, and it's Kusta left to fall back.
Yeah, perfect timing there for Edward. Where very well done to come out from doors. Poor Steel just given a glimpse at Flamey, and he does manage the damage, something Kusta can't. The retreat looks decent, but the chase is on. And so, it's 17 rounds apiece. NaVi really pulling themselves back into this one. It seemed as though Ghost was going to kick off the CT side with an immediate win, but they're going to have to shoot for 19 now with the last 2 of this first overtime half.
And again, the triple AWP, I mean, they're really going for it, Connor. They are heavy buying down into this next round. And we're going to have the peak up into middle with 2 of them as well. No one caught on the cross. NaVi are actually fast up into the tunnels this round, so they need to watch their lower. And in fact, Wardell will do exactly that. He walks out of middle. Kusta holding the top to at least protect his teammate. And Wardell's opened up. Electronic coming out through the lower tunnels is going to be finished off pretty quickly. And so now Ghost start things off with a man advantage. Definitely important considering Electronic is the top performer of his team right now. And Steel's even going to follow up.
The AWPs reign supreme. The beginning of this round, regardless. I like the setup straight from the get-go. Wardell even repositioned towards Cat, given a second chance versus Flamey, but he doesn't have the support yet again. Steel now here to help. And that's going to be even further damage. The ops take all 5 frags. The triple op is so smooth here in OT. And I love, again, that initial setup because you've got Wardell who's watching lower tunnels and then Kusta covering him from, of course, the back of mid doors. So 2 long ranges of engagement. And then you saw the opportunity. It bought them as they repositioned towards Catwalk and set it up again. An op fallback from Wardell, which baited them into the sniper of Steel. All of those setups, all of those kills, thanks to the AWPs.
Yeah, and a couple of times we've seen Steel on that AWP. He's actually been getting a lot of early frags. So nice to see from the side of Ghost. We've already talked about how deep the AWPing pool in this team is. We've got those 3 players. We've even got Crystal, who's AWPed from time to time in his previous teams, and Kusta out-dueling Simple and Middle, dropping the bomb and finding the man advantage. This could be the victory that Ghost want and need. What a start to this round. Kusta's even going to look back, and he flicks down to Zeus. The IGL of NaVi being dropped as well, and one by one, NaVi are being decimated in middle.
The last 7 kills of this CT side have all come off of the AWPs. I mean, this triple op setup, although it fell short in the first round of the CT side, it has certainly turned around. And again, NaVi, they just don't have enough time to adapt to this kind of a setup because there's only 3 rounds to work with. Did you see a triple op setup during regulation? Absolutely not. It could never be afforded. So now look at them go. MR3 16K being used to its full potential. And so is, as you said, the opping depth in this North American lineup. But it's not over yet. 35 seconds, 3v5, and Edward finds himself an opening, but Sabrosa finds the shutdown. It is the bomb on the dirt in tunnels. Talk about information, Hugo. And 25 seconds left. Ghost about to upset.
Wait, what? Wardell just walked into the center of the site and Flamey's going to catch him off. Crystal now has to buy time with 20 seconds and he's done exactly that. One more frag is all that they need, and Edward, he's been smoked off in the tunnel. It's desperation being called for as he runs into B. Steel with a fantastic flashbang, and there's just no time. Edward can't do it. Steel's finished it off, and that's it. Ghost have completed the upset.